and thank you for joining us for this week's Hebrew class, and today's lesson is taken from Yehuchanan, John 18 verses 6 to 10. So let us first begin, and as usual, for anyone who's new, we have the Nikud Val markings and how to use them, and also the useful resources. Right, and we are starting in verse 6, and we know that verse 6 in Hebrew is represented with a Vav, which is the sixth letter of the alphabet, and therefore it represents this verse. So we'll go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Hey, Yod, Bet, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Hey, Mem, Safit, Aleph, Nun, Yod, Hey, Vav, Aleph, Vav, Yod, Samek, Gimel, Vav, Aleph, Chet, Vav, and Resh. And let us read it. Vehi, which literally is, and it was, it's often translated, and it came to pass. Be'emor, in his saying, because emor means to say, in his saying, Yahushua, or Yahusha, alehem, unto them, Ani, I am, who, he, vayisogu, vayisogu, they retreated. If we look down here, nasag is a kal verb, to retreat, to withdraw. And then we have achor, meaning backward. Because we've got down here, achor is an adjective meaning backward, reverse, rearward. And the English is, and it came to pass when he had said to them, I am he, they withdrew backward. Now we know that we are now dealing with the time of Yeshua's arrest. So these are the verses that we are reading in the Hebrew. So let us read that again. And completely without any resource there, right? And we have Vehi be'emor Yahushua alehem ani hu vayisogu achor. And let's look at the translation. And it was, in his saying, Yahusha, unto them, I am he, they retreated backward. And then we turn to part B. And the letters are Vav, Yod, Pei, Lamed, Vav, Aleph, Resh, Zade, and Hey. And we read it. Vayi Pelu. And they fell, because the u at the end is they, and it's a verb because it has the prefixes, and it means a completed action because of the prefix that is in front of it, the vav and the yod, which reverses the tense that we get when we have a yod. And they fell, and it is artsa. Now the hey at the end is like directional, that's why I've got an arrow to, and we know aretz means earth, to the earth. So the English is they retreated backwards and fell to the ground or to the earth. And we see nafal, which is the root word there where the nun is dropped off here. Nafal is a kol verb, to fall, to drop. It can even mean to be killed, to surrender, as in battle when soldiers fall. It means to be killed. All right, now we can read that one. and it is Vayi Pelu Artsa. And the translation again, and they fell to the earth. And now we come to verse 7, which is represented with the Zion, the seventh letter of the alphabet. And then we have Vav, Yod, Samek, Fesofit, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Hey, Mem, Sofit, Aleph, Tav, Mem, Yod, Tav, Vet, Kuf, Shin, and Vav. And we read it. Va Yosef. And he added. And I'm using that because we know that the word Yosef means to add. So, and he added, a completed action. Vayomer. And he said, Alehem, unto them, et grammar marker, me. Whom? And then it is te va keshu. Te va keshu. Do you seek? Right? Of course, the tav is future, right? And is often translated as shall you seek. But because it sounds better to say do you seek, or once more he said to them, whom are you seeking? So you could say, whom are you seeking? You could translate it that way. So let us now read it. And it is, Vayosef, Vayomer, Alehem, et mi, te vakeshu. And the translation, and he added, and he said unto them, grammar marker, whom do you seek? And part B is a Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Vav. Aleph, Tav, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Hey, Nun, Zade, Resh, Yod. And of course we remember that the Aleph is in white, which tells us we don't actually pronounce the Aleph, right? So therefore it's Vayomru. Vayomru. And they said, et grammar marker, Yeshua, ha-nutzri, ha-nutzri. And we can see down here, Natzer is a masculine noun meaning stem, shoot, offspring. That's actually what Notzri or Nazarene was originally meant. And we see that I've added here the Kamatz grammar rule is a short O. It causes us to say this as an O rather than as a A. So it is ha-notzri. Right, now we read that. Vayomru et Yeshua ha-notzri. And the translation, and they said, grammar marker, Yeshua or Yeshua, right? The Nazarene. So, whom are you seeking? They said, Yeshua the Nazarene. And now we come to 8, and it's represented with a chet, which has a value of 8. And then we have Vav, Yod, Ayin, Nun Sofit, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Hey, Lamed, Aleph, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Tav, Yod, Lamed, Kaf, Mem, Sofit, Aleph, Nun, Yod, Hey, Vav, and Aleph. And we read it. Vaya'an. And he answered. Now, I hope we remember that the root word there is ana, with a hey at the end, but the hey is dropped off because it's a weak letter. So it is, and he answered, Yeshua, or Yahusha, Vayomer. And he said, again, the he is because there's no other pronoun, so we know it's he. Hello. Did not. Now the reason for that is that the hey is a questioning hey. We know lo means not, but the hey is a questioning hey. Did not. Amarti, meaning I say, because T is I, right? And amar means to say. I say, la kem, to you, ani, I am. Who? He. I am he. Yeshua answered and said, did I not tell you I am he? So now we also read that. Vaya'an, Yahushua, Vayomer, Halo, Amarti, Lakem, Ani, who? And the translation. And he answered, Yahushua, and he said, did not I say to you, I am he? And now we have part B, and we have a lamed, a kaf, a nun sofit, a left mem sofit, a left tav, yod, tav, vet, kuf, shin, vav, hey, nun, yod, chet, vav, lamed, aleph, lamed, hey, vav, yod, lamed, kaf, and vav. And we read it. La ken, therefore, im, if, ot, me, tevakshu, meaning you are seeking. Again, we've got the u at the end, which can be they or you, but because of the tav, it's like second person. So you are seeking, or you shall seek. So you are seeking hanichu, hanichu, you leave alone. Now, let us have a look. Heniach is a verb to leave alone, to desist, to allow to rest. All right, you leave alone. La ele, for these. The yeleku, and they went. And again, the u at the end is they. And it's a verb, so with the vav and the yod, it's a completed action. And we know lek has its root from halak, which is a cold verb to go, to proceed, to leave, to walk. And the English is, I'm he. Thus, if you are seeking me, leave these alone and go. And we will read that now. Laken, im, oti, tevakshu, hanichu, la ele, v'yeleku. And the translation, therefore, if me you are seeking, you leave alone for these. And they went. I know that sounds a bit funny. You leave alone for these, or to these. But, as we can see, thus, if you are seeking me, leave these alone and go. Because Hebrew often sort of might say it a bit different than what the English says. And I've also included bikesh, which is a PL verb, to seek, to want, to demand. So, let us now move to verse 9, which happens to be a tet, being the ninth letter of the alphabet. And then we have Lamed, Mem, Lamed, Aleph, Tav, Hey, Dalet, Vayet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Dalet, Bayet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Nun, Tav, Tav, Hey, Lamed, Yod, Mem, Aleph, Lamed, Hey. So repeating the letters like that is all about remembering them, and especially for those who are relatively new to the Hebrew, we need to make the letters very familiar. So let us begin. Le malot, lemalot, to fulfill. Right, if we look down here, malay is a col verb to fill, to complete, or to fulfill, right? To fulfill ha-davar, meaning the word. Asher that diber. He spoke. Again, there's no pronoun, so it's he. He spoke. Asher, whom netata, you have given. Whom you have given. Li, to me. Me'ele, from these. Right? So the translation, this is to fulfill the word that he spoke, of those whom you have given to me, from these. And now we read it. Le malot ha davar asher diber asher netata li me'ele. And the translation, to fulfill the word that he spoke, whom you have given to me, from these. And part B of verse 9. Lamed Aleph, Aleph, Vayet, Dalet, Lamed, Yod, Aleph, Fesofit, Aleph, Chet, and Dalet. Lo, meaning not. Avad, to perish, or not perished, or not to perish. Li, for me. Af, even. Echad, one. Now if you look down here, avad is a col verb, to be lost, to perish, to destroy. And af, as a conjunction, it means although or even, because it can also have other meanings, but when it's not a conjunction. But as a conjunction, it means although or even, and that's why I've translated even one. From these, not even one has perished. So, we now read that. Lo avad li af echad. And the translation, not to perish for me, even one. And we come to 10. It's a yod, represented as a yod, the 10th letter of the alphabet. And then we have vav, lamed, shin, mem, ayin, vav, nun, safit, kaf, fe, aleph, chet, resh, vayet, vav, yod, shin, lamed, fe, hey, vav, yod, kaf, safit, aleph, tav, ayin, vayet, dalet, hey, kaf, hey, nun, safit, hey, gimel, dalet, vav, lamed. And we read it. Ul Shimon, ul Shimon, and to Shimon, or Simon, Kepha, cherev, a sword, vayish lefa, and he withdrew it. So we looked down here, the root is shalaf, and it's a kal verb to extract, to pull out, to draw out a weapon. And then we have vayak, and struck. In order to understand that, even though there's only one letter from the root word, but the root word is hika. So only the kaf is represented there. It's a verb to hit, to strike. And struck. And the reason for that is we have a vav and a yod. So it tells us it's and struck. Et grammar marker eved, meaning the servant. Ha-kohen, of the priest. Ha-gadol, the great. Now I'm giving you a direct translation rather than how they normally translate it, right? The great priest. That's literally what it means. So Simon Peter had a sword. He drew it and struck the servant of the high priest. So let us read that now. Ul Shimon, Kepha, Cherev, Vayish Lefa, Vayak et Eved HaKohen HaGadol. And the translation, and to Shimon, Kepha, a sword, and he withdrew it and struck the servant of the priest, the great, or the high priest. And just a note there, because that hey at the end is like a pronoun, meaning it. And he withdrew it. That's why we have it there. And now we have part B, and we have a vav, yod, kuf, zadeh, sofit, aleph, tav, aleph, zayin, nun, vav, hey, yod, mem, nun, yod, tav, vav, shin, mem, sofit, hey, ayin, veit, dalet, mem, lamed, kaf, vav, and samek. So let's read. Ve, ka, sets, and he lopped off et ramamaka oz no, meaning his ear, and it is hey manit, the right, the shem, and the name, ha'eved, of the servant, Malchos. Malchos was Malchos. So the servant of the high priest, from the previous verse, and cut off his right ear. The name of the servant was Malchos. And we see here that kisets is a PL verb to lop or to cut off. And kasatz is a kol verb to chop, to dice. And then we have ozen, feminine noun for ear. Again, the rule, the kamatz rule applies. It's a short O sound in a closed syllable, usually the first. And then finally we have yamin. Yamin is a masculine noun that means right, right hand, or right wing. And so we will now read that. Starting here. Vakatsetz et ozno haimanit vashem, or veshem, ha'eved Malchos. And the translation, and he lopped off, grammar marker, his ear, the right, and the name of the servant was Malchus. Naturally, there's no was there. We add that to make it flow better, right? And now we come to our revision. And again, the Vav means we're in verse 6. And it is, Vehi, it came to pass. Be'em more, in his saying, and then who? Yeshua, Alehem, unto them, Ani, I am who? He, Va, Yi, So, Gu, which means they retreated. Hor, meaning backwards. And the translation. And it was in his saying, Yeshua, unto them, I am he. They retreated backwards. And this is missing a letter there. It's a Vav, right? So it's Va, Yi, Palu, and they fell. Artsa, to the ground. And the translation. And they fell to the ground. And this is a Zion, value of 7. Vayosef. And he added, Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them, et grammar marker, me, whom te vakeshu, do you seek? And he added, and he said unto them, grammar marker, whom do you seek? And then we have part B of 7, Va Yomru. And they said, Et grammar marker, Yahushua Ha Notzri, meaning Yeshua the Nazarene. And they said, grammar marker, Yeshua the Nazarene. And then we have Chet, value of 8, Vaya'an, and he answered, Yahushua. Vayomer, and he said, Hello, did not Amarti I say Lakem to you, Ani I am who? He. And he answered, Yahushua, and he said, did not I say to you, I am he? La ken. Therefore, if oti me te vakshu, you do seek, ha ni hu, then you leave alone, la ele, for these. V'yeleku, and they went. Therefore, if me you are seeking, you leave alone for these. And they went. And then we have a tet. That's a value of 9. We're in verse 9. Le malot, to fulfill, hadavar, the word, assured that, diber, he spoke, asher, whom, netata, you have given, li to me, me'ele, from these. To fulfill the word that he spoke, whom you have given to me from these, lo not avad, perished, li, for me, af, even, echad, one, and not to perish for me even one. And then we have Yod, value of 10, and it is Ul, Shimon, and to Simon, Kepha, Peter, Cherev, a sword, Vayish lefa, and he withdrew it. vayak, and struck. Et grammar marker, Eved the servant, ha-kohen of the priest, ha-gadol, the great or the high priest. And to Shimon or Simon, Kepha, Peter, a sword, and he withdrew it and struck, grammar marker, the servant of the priest, the great. And then we have the cutsets, and he lopped off, et grammar marker, ozno, meaning his ear, he manit, the right, the shem, and the name, ha-eved, of the servant, Malchos, was Malchos. And he lopped off, grammar marker, his ear, the right, and the name of the servant was Malchos. And then finally we come now to our vowel markings, just to refresh ourselves every time again. And we see we have the bottom line, shuruk. So it has the u sound, but it's a relatively short u, right? Shuruk. And then the second one, it is 3 diagonals, still the same root letter u, but it's a longer u. It's kubutz. And then we have a combination of shava and segol. So therefore it follows after the shava. It's like a syllable, new syllable, and it's a segol, a short e sound. Then we have chirik, which is like a short I sound. And then we have kataf patak. Again, it's a shava with a patak after it. And it's a short A sound. Then we have a kataf kamatz, a longer A sound. Okay. And then we move to the final one, and it gives us all the letters and their values. So let us look at this line. A zade has a value of 9. A pei, they call it pev, but we call it pei or fei, has a value of 80. Ayin value of 70. Samek value of 60. Nun value of 50. And mem value of 40. With the bottom line, tav value of 400. Shin value of 300. Resh value of 200. And kuf value of 100. And the more we look at them, the more we will remember them. And of course, I've included the useful resources again. Very useful in your practice. And we must use the Do It in Hebrew dictionary, which is more a modern Hebrew, but in our New Testament, it will be very useful in finding the root words, because we've got to remember all the Hebrew has root words, which are often 3 letters, and it has prefixes and suffixes. So we've got to learn to identify them. So I just hope that these lessons are a blessing to you, and I hope you join with us again. And if you find these are a little bit difficult, go to the beginning and start again, and just keep repeating them. And you'll gradually get more efficient with it. And for those that are better at it, there is also the revision classes, which are cover a lot more than the individual lessons. And we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again. Bye.